So, what would you little maniacs like to do first? So, what would you little maniacs like to do first?
Hey, what's going on? What's up, Lasky Kids and Drive-In Mutants? Oops, didn't mean to do that. There we go. Let me take the banner down, put the comments up. Let me see what everybody's talking about. Swoop Like Me says, hey now, hey Swoop. I'm doing okay. I'm doing all right. Tony Man says, testing, I'm good. Bluetooth earbuds are working. Okay, good. Swoop Like Me says, hey Tony Man 100. I'm glad to see y'all here. This is going to be more of a conversation rather than just a straight up review because we need to talk about The Boys season 3. How far have you all got watching it so far? Tommy says, how you feeling, Leisha? Swoop. Because I just watched episode 4. So I'm all caught up. I want to see how far everybody else got. Are you guys all caught up? Toy Man says, waiting for 5. Very cool, which I think drops on Friday. Swoop Like Me says, I see none of it. Oh, this is gonna be spoiler filled. I hope you know. I'll try not to get into too much detail, but uh just the images alone are gonna spoil certain things. So be forewarned. You know, I'm waiting for 5. Let me bring up the first image. Um, this was kind of funny to me. Swoop Like Me says, no worries. This was funny to me because, oh, I got another comment before I get started. Capri says, hey, I just love when you do reviews. Thank you. I appreciate it. Cause sometimes I feel like I'm not doing them well enough. I'm trying to get better at what I do. I think I've used the edited reviews as kind of a crutch because I'm so afraid that I'm going to misspeak or I'm not going to articulate what I really want to say well, that I like editing. That way I can go back and fine tune what I'm saying. So, whereas when I do it live, you can't go back and fine tune it. You said it how you said it. And you might watch it back and go, well, I could have said it better this way. So I'm glad to hear that. That makes me feel a little bit more confident. Okay, so this opening was pretty funny to me because um it's making well the boys initially when you first start watching it, you could tell that it's making fun of and essentially DC characters at first. Like obviously, why am I forgetting this dude's name? Homelander is kind of like a Superman type character, and Maeve is like your Wonder Woman, and then A Train would be like the Flash. Not sure who Starlight would be like in terms of DC. I feel like there's a character that's like her, but I can't. But the name is escaping me. And Black Noir is like their Batman when you think about it. But then this whole sequence is very Marvel rather than DC. Like it's very Avengers. Even from Homelander says that he's gonna stop this person, and then they're like, well, the evil person is like, well, how are you gonna do it yourself? And then they're like, oh, he's not alone. Very Marvel moment. First question for you. How are you liking the gore effects? The gore effects are very good. I know that they are using a combination of practical effects and CGI, and it's seamless. It's damn good, if I don't say so myself. It's really, really good. But what was I gonna say? In this little thing that movie, they basically made a movie that's supposed to advertise the Seven, and they kind of flipped the whole script on the whole Stormfront thing, kind of making it seem like she wasn't down with them at all and that she's the villain. But what's cool is they actually got Charlize Theron to play Stormfront in the movie, and I think that's funny because she often plays a villain. I don't know if you noticed that. I liked when she played the villain in the Fast and the Furious. Was it? I want to say 7 through 9. I think she's been a villain. They never catch her though. Well, I haven't seen the last one. To be fair, I've not seen the very newest Fast and Furious, but she was a villain. She does a good job being a villain. She kind of reminds me of Sharon Stone. I don't know if that's on purpose or not, but Charlize Theron has always reminded me of Sharon Stone. Like that's her baby. Also, the coloring in this muted color, I'm wondering if they are also drawing from Zack Snyder's way of coloring his movies when he did like the Justice League, and the coloring was really, really muted, because that's the opposite of how Marvel does Avengers movies. Avengers movies are pretty vibrant and colorful, whereas the Zack Snyder DC superhero movies are very, very drained of color, or they have an overlay where it'll be like all red or all blue or some type of overlay. So I wonder if that's why the look of this looked the way it is. I'm not going to talk about the episodes individually because I just watched them back to back. It's all like one big movie in my head. So just letting you know. Speaking of practical effects, I can't show the first image from this because I'd probably get thrown off of YouTube because it's I would say it's kind of pornographic because you actually see this character is an Ant-Man like character whose name is, I think his name is the Termite. Yeah, I want to say his name is the Termite. And he can obviously change his size. And at one point, he jumps inside of a person's urethra, and this is him inside of there. And they actually built a practical effect, human size or urethra big enough for a human to walk in. So this is not CGI. This is practical effects. But unfortunately, he was doing a little bit of cocaine and he sneezes and unfortunately resizes and blows the guy apart. And that's how this season starts. I don't know. What do y'all think of that so far? Oh, I forgot to take the banner down. My bad. All right, I'll keep going. Oh, wait, there's a question here. Lordran says, hey, lady, and my horror family. Hey, what's up? Tony Man says, I loved it. I watched that scene 3 times. Yeah, it was the first word that comes to my mind is gnarly, and I know that's only because of Stranger Things, because I would have not have thought of the word gnarly except for the Argyle character in Stranger Things kept saying it, so now it's in my consciousness. Lorden says, I was disgusted but couldn't look away. I was even disgusted. I don't even have a penis. I was like, I was horrified. I was like, oh my gosh, I know a guy watching this must be extra horrified at that conclusion. Or I shouldn't say a guy, a person with a penis, because, you know what I mean. We find out the storefront is still alive. I mean, she's messed up, as you can see, but she's still alive. And what Homelander did, well, I can't feel sorry for her because, like, she's an evil Nazi. So Homelander using her for her one good hand for gratification. What am I going to say about it? I mean, it is what it is. she ended up how she ended up. But yeah, she lost. She actually kind of reminded me of how Anakin Skywalker ended up at the end of what would it have been, episode 9 or 10 in Star Wars, when Anakin was in the lava. That's how Stormfront ended up. Tony says, I love the Frenchie termite fight. Yeah, it actually made me like, before I always kind of look at Frenchie like he's a throwaway character. I didn't really care about him at all, but he kind of proved it or showed more of his worth this season. You can't keep an evil Nazi down. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about A-Train for a while and his coon ass activities. He is so, oh my God, he's so full of crap. He decided he wanted to rebrand himself because he can't really run that fast anymore. So he's going to try to rebrand himself as being extra woke and being pro-black when he totally is not pro-black at all. He's full of shit. But look at this costume. The fact that he thought this was a good idea. He has the different kente fabrics on there like they don't have a meaning, or because they do. The fabrics have a meaning and they are meant to be worn in a certain context. Like some of the fabrics are meant to be worn in celebration, whereas others are meant to be worn in mourning. I guarantee you he didn't look none of that up. He just threw the different fabrics up there like it was just, oh, this looks African, I'm gonna put it on. And it's so disingenuous. He is just a mess. It's a shame. But then it gets even worse when he does this. He does like a literal commercial. Like, y'all remember that the Kylie Jenner was it Kylie or was it Kendall? I think Kendall's the skinny one. The model one. You know, the Kardashian that did the commercial for Pepsi where she walks through a protest and hands the police officers a Pepsi. I think it was a Pepsi. It might have been Coke. I don't remember. Some soda. They literally had A Train do the same thing, but he handed the cops like an A Train energy drink. And I was like, they really did that. They really played this dude like, well, he played himself. He agreed to this stuff. And even the way the protesters looked, it was very manufactured. But I get the point that they're making. They made their point beautifully about people who are doing performative activism. I got it. Hey, Bob Gunter. Bob says, I wonder if Ezra Miller stuff will be season 4. They should include that. They really should. Do you know he's missing? He's on the run. He ran away with some 18-year-old that he groomed since she was underage, and now her parents are looking for her, and he's like nowhere to be found. And like I guess he's a fugitive technically. That dude's real messed up. He kept on getting arrested in Hawaii. We covered it on Hood Podcast, which, by the way, every Monday, well, actually this week we're going to post on Thursday, but usually on Hood Podcast we talk about Ezra Miller and his shenanigans and other news of the weird. So you got to check that out. Tony Man says, I loved how Mother's Milk gave his daughter a Flavor Flav clock for her birthday and said, yeah, boy. That commercial reminded me of Booty Sweat from the Ben Stiller movie. Oh, you're talking about Tropic Thunder. And wasn't there a candy bar that went with it? It was called something Nuts. Bust a Nut. Yeah, I think it was a candy bar named Bust a Nut. Bob says, A Train feels like Sean King. Mm-hmm. Lordran says, it was a Pepsi. I didn't like A Train, but now I hate his no running ass. Same. Yeah, he's gone off the deep end. Definitely. His brother tried to talk some sense into him, but he's not listening to his brother at all. So let me see what other images I saw. Oh, the new characters. Do y'all think that, busting a nut bar. Yeah, that's the one from Tropic Thunder. Also, best Tom Cruise performance as the producer. That was really good. But do y'all think that Soldier Boy is supposed to be like Captain America? But if Captain America was bad? And in the same thing with Crimson, what was her name? I wrote notes. Her name is Crimson something. Crimson Countess, which is giving Scarlet Witch, like Crimson Scarlet. It's giving that. So that's why I'm thinking of those two. Bob says, say what you will about the actor who plays Homelander. He only got into a drunken fight. Yeah, and he's a great actor. If anybody is really acting their ass off, it's the actor that's playing Homelander. Like, just even the way he moves, the way he smiles, it's a whole performance. And if he gets you to hate him, then you know he's a good actor because, and I would have to say the same thing for A Train when you think about it. The actor's doing a good job making you dislike this character. So I can't say any of the actors on this show are weak. If anybody is a weak character, it's just Huey. I don't know why I'm supposed to care about Huey. Like, I don't even know why he's there. I know it comes from the comic book, but was he, anyone who's has read the comic book, was he such a non-entity in the comic book, or did they have him a little bit more interesting? Or is he the stand-in for the audience? Maybe that's his real function, to be the stand-in for the audience, to ask the questions that the audience would ask. So I kind of take back what I said. I kind of get it now. Tony Man says, absolutely, Soldier Boy actor is the dude from Supernatural. You're right. I didn't even recognize him. I should recognize him. As much as, like, my mother loves Supernatural. She has the box set, watched the whole series. He's the stand-in, yes. That's what I was thinking. Speaking of Crimson Countess, we meet her. I'll tell you about the park later. Let me talk about these new characters also that, we sort of got introduced and sort of not got introduced. I wrote down what the announcer said, And the announcer said that the contestants in this Voight contest, because Voight is having a contest to add 2 new members to the 7. And the announcer said that the contestants were named Luckless, Livewire, Jetstreak, Europo, Moonshadow, Lone Star, Critter, Silver Kincaid, Supersonic, and Pit Stop. Now, the only 3 that I can put the name to the faces is this young lady with the hijab on. I think her name is Silver Kincaid. And I think this is Jetstreak in the front. I could be mistaken. But why did they name this young lady over here Moonshadow? I feel like that's super racist. Moonshadow? Really? Real Moonshadow? Terrible. But she is super pretty. Look at her. I hope she has more time in the series because she's beautiful. No, he was a major player for now in the comics. I've read 9 of the 72 issues. Okay, so hopefully they'll beef up Huey's character. Bob says, but in the comics, he was unlikable, just like all the characters. Instead of the charming conversation we get in the show, he was talking about how aliens are actually pink and doing an Alex Jones thing. Oh. Lorgen says, Soldier Boy is a riff on Captain America if he was incompetent and a coward. Bob says, Tony Man, everyone in the comics is an asshole, but I don't care. But like I said, this girl's beautiful. I hope that she comes back. I think that she is going to come back because when they announced who they were going to add to the 7, of course, Homelander kind of bullied his way about choosing this. I saw Starlight look over at her and the young lady in the hijab and wink at them. So I think Starlight has told them something that they'll be able to use later. So hopefully we'll see more of them. This is Voigtland, which it was hilarious, the little Easter eggs they put in there. And it's funny how Voight was playing both sides of the coin, because also in the show, there is a Voight gun show. So they're playing the conservative side. Wait, let me say 2 things. There's a gun show and there's also a Voight News, which is like dead ass lampooning of the Fox News. So on the one hand, on this side over here, you have Voight doing gun shows and a Fox News type show where they're courting the right. And then on this side, you have them with Voight World, which is courting the left. And I just think that's funny because a lot of corporations do that. They play both sides. And I just think it's hilarious that the show is expressing that. What's even funnier is how it's talking about the commodification of social issues. Like, for example, we were having a conversation on Hood Podcast a few weeks ago about Juneteenth and about how now you go to the store and there's like all these decorations and things for Juneteenth. And it's funny because it's like the same way that they have commodified Pride Month, and really going as far back to Cinco de Mayo and St. Patrick's Day. Like, these things actually meant something before they became just a party day. And I think the next things that are going to become just a party day are going to be Pride, and Juneteenth is going to become a party day, just like St. Patrick's Day and Cinco de Mayo. I'm not against it because I think we should celebrate Juneteenth, but I think that the message that Juneteenth represents should not be lost in our partying. Now, funny thing is, I'm going to zoom in on this picture. This right here killed me. Do you see the BLM BLTs? I about died when I saw that. I was like, oh my God. That is like the epitome of commodifying a social movement. And that's not the only one. When Kimiko and Frenchie went to the park because they were trying to find Crimson Countess, because they figured that she'd be able to tell them what happened to Soldier Boy, because their whole thing is they're trying to stop Homelander, but he's like the most powerful person, so nobody could kill him. But the other person that was supposed to be just as powerful as Homelander was Soldier Boy. And they heard that he was killed, so they're trying to find Crimson Countess so she can tell them who and how they killed Soldier Boy. Because if they can figure out who and how Soldier Boy was killed, they can use that same method on Homelander, just to fill in the gaps. So that's why Kimiko and Frenchie went to Voight World, because that's where Crimson Countess is working. And that's sad in and of itself. She's a superhero that's working at a park. Let's see. Did I read this comment? Tony Man, everyone. Okay, I read that one. Bob says, I love all the signs in the park. Yes, it's a very blink and you miss it. You have to really look. You should see the issues with Tech Knight. He's a cross between Batman and Iron Man and can't stop doing to do with anything with a hole. Oh, wow. Oh, they'll probably hopefully they introduce him in the show, but I should download the comics and start reading them. I almost choked from laughter when I saw that BLM bit. God damn. Yeah. There's also Proud. Yeah, I have that right here. I think that, no, before that, I saw the Woke Walk, which is like, what the hell? And then Brave Maeve's Veggie Tacos, which it's a double entendre since Maeve happens to be a lesbian. So I just thought that was hilarious. Oh, I forgot to take a screenshot of that, of the LGBT turkey legs. Yeah, that was another one. That song about chimps don't cry had me in the hospital for real. Yeah, I was taken aback by that. I was like, is she really singing about chimps not crying? And then she stops to explain to them about how chimps can't cry. And that apparently that's very important to her. I just thought that was very funny. But yeah, Vault World, even the song that was playing in the background, I think it was a song that was singing like everyone's a hero, everyone is special or something like that. This right here. I loved this when they, I think this was shown when Mother's Milk was doing research on Soldier Boy and was looking at old video of him, and he was singing, oh God, it was Blondie's Rapture, and he was doing the rap from Blondie's Rapture on Solid Gold, and the way they recreated this, I love it. I remember what I know Bob is probably not old enough to remember Solid Gold, but I know some of you are old enough to remember Solid Gold. So when he says Chimps Don't Cry reminds me of Sarah McLachlan. Oh, you're right. You're right. When she was singing In the Arms of the Angel for the dogs and the cats. But that was a good sequence. They just did it just to do it. And I approve. Because I like 80s stuff. So, like I said, they were going to introduce 2 new members of the 7. And they ended up choosing, what is homeboy's name again? I think it's Jetstreak. Which I'm not sure what Jetstreak's power set is, but I'm guessing that he's really fast like A-Train. Just based on his name. But they didn't really show him doing anything. Or maybe I blinked and I missed it. So they chose him because they said that they wanted someone that would represent the Latin market. Because a lot of their choices are being made by commercialism and marketing. So they've just been looking at the marketing numbers and what plays well to different demographics. So they chose Jetstream just because he happens to be Latino. And then for some reason, Homelander wanted the Deep back into the group. I don't know why, because he keeps like torturing him. And I mean by torturing him, like he made him eat his friend. Oh, where's the picture? Did I not? It's probably out of order, but I don't know how that picture got out of order. There it is. I don't know why that picture ended up over there. But anyways, Homelander made the Deep eat his friend. It was messed up. Bob says, is it true? Can they not cry? Like sharks not being able to swim backwards? I don't know. I did not Google it. The Soldier Boy singing Rapture works on a double meaning because a lot of people think that that's kind of what Blondie did. Took it from its original audience and dumbed it down for white people. Oh, I could see that. I could see how that could be a double meaning. Jet Streak in a boy band killed me. You know what? The boy band song was actually, the way it was written, it did sound like it would have come out in the late 90s, early 2000s and been like a Backstreet Boys song. I think I have like something on me. Okay. Supersonic. Oh, that's his skill set. Okay. Oh, the octopus scene, I was laughing and crying at the same time. And again, if this is, I mean, to me, it looks like it's probably CGI. It's seamless. It really is seamless, especially for a TV show. It is seamless. Timothy, where on earth did you go? Yeah, that was the octopus's name, Timothy. I felt bad for the deep in that moment. But to be fair, in the ocean, there are sea life that eats other sea life. So, like, I mean, when you're gonna, what was the deep going to tell the sharks? Like, the sharks eat other sea creatures. So, even dolphins eat other fish. Let me go back to where I was going to talk about these characters because we get a flashback to the 80s to I never remember her name, the older lady, Grace. How Grace was involved in it was some type of military operation and might have to do with I want to say it was in Costa Rica, but it could have been Cuba, but I think it was Costa Rica. Either way, it was in the 80s, and Grace was involved in these military operations, and the U.S. government decided they were going to send soups to help the military, which Grace thought was a horrible idea because they're not trained for military battle. And in this picture, you see Black Noir is there, Crimson Countess, the TNT twins. What was that guy's name? Something Brain. Mindstorm. I had to look up his name because I don't think they ever introduced him fully, but Mindstorm was there. And so this is where we learn that Black Noir is, which makes sense that he would be black. His name is literally Black Black. Like it might as well have been named Blackity Black Black Black. His name, because Noir means black and black means black. So his name is Black Black. So if anyone's surprised that Black Noir is black, I don't know what to tell you. But that's when we find out, you know, a little bit of his backstory, not his full origin story, but a little bit of his backstory. And to answer Bob's question, no, they don't cry. I looked it up. Okay, so we learned something today. It's a line from a song about a Tim being eaten. The flooding of drugs into the Black community was real. Yes, she did mention that. She mentioned how the U.S. government had planned. I guess the caveat to their plan was that they had to only flood the Black communities with the drugs, and it's very bold of the show to. Do you ever see that meme of is it Alex Andre or something Andre, the comedian with the big afro, and he leans back and he says, "How brave of you to say something so true." That's what played in my head when she said that. Yes, thank you for bringing that up because I didn't want to forget to say that. Victoria Newman blowing up her friend was crazy. Yes, her blowing up anyone. That backstory on her where they showed like the crib and the person's head blown off, pretty much showing that she's been able to explode people's heads since birth or since she was at least an infant. That's some scary junk right there. But anyways, a camp gets attacked. One person that was not pictured there, I just realized it. Swatto. There's a guy named Swatto that flies in the air. He would be kind of like their version of Ant-Man and the Wasp mixed together. But he wasn't pictured in that picture, but he was there and he got hit by a missile, so he's no longer around. But in this, Black Noir is arguing with it's a shame I have to write his name down because I don't remember it. Stan Edgar. It's such a forgettable name. Stan Edgar. Anyways, Black Noir is arguing with Stan Edgar about even wearing a helmet because he says nobody knows who he is. Nobody even knows he's black because he's wearing his helmet. And Stan Edgar is like, well, you need to wear the helmet and you're going to wish that you had the helmet. And unfortunately, no truer words have been spoken because less than a couple minutes later, this is what happened to Black Noir. And he didn't have his helmet on. So you see, he's all like melted man now. And so now you know why he doesn't take his helmet off anymore, why he doesn't speak. I don't know if he can speak, but he definitely got messed up in this battle. So that's how we know him is now. And that's why he don't ever take off his helmet, because he learned his lesson about that. The dude playing Edgar in the past did an awesome acting job. I was going to say that. Next. I actually have a screenshot of him. He really embodied what's the older actor's name? Giancarlo Esposito. His cadence, the way he speaks, his inflection, his vocal inflections, he really, really embodied that character. And they also have similar eyes. If you look at them, the eyes are the same, but this is a younger version of Stan Edgar. And then this is the older version of Stan Edgar, after he has de facto adopted Victoria, who is the head exploding girl. And she also has a daughter that I'm not sure why. Well, she tells her daughter that it's for her own protection so that she'll be strong, but she's injecting her daughter with compound V in her back. And it's like very painful for the little girl, but I get why she's doing it. Like she wants to make her so strong that she won't ever have to, she probably doesn't want her to ever have to fear someone like a Homelander. Make her, if she's the strongest, then she don't have anyone to fear. I get it. That's pictures out of sequence. I think that's all the images that I had for that I could all the images that I could show, because YouTube is tripping lately, so I don't even know what we can show and what we can't show. It'd be easier if they just gave us a list. They should just email you as a YouTuber and say, hey, these are the things you can't show, these are the words you can't say, and then that would be the easiest way to go about it, but they don't do that. Know what I wanted to do before I get out of here? I wanted to go on to Twitter, because Twitter was completely lighting up talking about The Boys. So I'm going to do that. Let me stop sharing this screen. I'm going to share the Twitter instead, because there was some pretty funny tweets. Yeah, this scene I was just talking to you about. Let me see if I can get it larger. With Homelander completely bullying the Deep. Gross. Okay, Tony Man says, did you watch any termite reaction videos? Oh, I didn't know that there were termite reaction videos. I could see where, yeah, I should watch those. Those would be fun. I'm hoping that as I'm scrolling Twitter that we don't, because there is images of the urethra from the outside that I can't show, but yeah, it must be a behind the scenes shot. Oh, my sister was saying that the guy that plays Butcher should play Wolverine. What do you think of that? If they says fandom says The Boys is about to introduce Stan Lee inspired character, the legend played by Paul Reiser. That'd be pretty big, because Paul Reiser is also on Stranger Things. You forgot Homelander also gave the new dude a taco for yes, yeah, that was some racism right there from Homelander to welcome the new guy who happened to be Latino. He gave him a taco bowl, and I was like, this is it's just ridiculous. And also, I didn't mention, because some people haven't seen the show yet, I didn't give away one of the things that happens in episode 4. I'll talk about it in the next live stream that we do for The Boys, because I really, let me do my short review before I finish going through tweets. My short review is that this show is one of the best shows on TV right now. For, in my opinion, I enjoy it. I like how it talks about issues in a way that's entertaining and not it's not preachy. It's just matter of fact. It's like, this is the shit that people are doing. This, here's why it's fucked up. Take it in. I like that approach. The action is good. The acting is good. The effects are good. The storyline so far has been pretty good. I'm interested in finding out more about Soldier Boy and also his sidekick. What was his sidekick's name? I know I wrote it down. Gunpowder, who kind of, I guess Gunpowder is supposed to be a little bit like Deadshot, if Deadshot was a negative person. But yeah, the whole thing with them being at the gun range, even the speech that Gunpowder was giving at the gun range, it had bits that are completely lifted from right-wing media. So it's a very, very topical of this moment show. I think it's super well written. Oh, speaking of being well written, the part that illustrates A-Train's coonishness, very well written, because there are people like that would sell out their own people just for, whatever recognition they want to get for themselves. And writing that into A-Train's character is very, I won't name names, but we have certain people in the in the entertainment industry of African American lineage that fit that description. So having that character there, it makes sense. If that, I don't know how to express it better than that. It makes sense. And it's a good opposite to Mother's Milk. Mother's Milk is the total opposite type of character than A-Train. And I like that you see both sides of the spectrum on the same program. I like that. The legend, finally. They had Stormfront protesters carrying tiki torches. I missed that. But that totally makes sense too, because of the "You will not replace us" guys. Or they were either chanting "You will not replace us" or "Jews will not replace us." It was hard for me to tell. Or they might have been alternating those two things. But either way, they're full of shit. Let's see what else is going on Twitter. What people are saying. Someone's saying they're about to watch The Boys season 3. It's a great drawing. It's behind the scenes. I forgot to mention him. That was a good callback to an earlier season when this character right here that's wearing the plaid shirt, A-Train is arguing with him in the hallway, and he was like, "Oh, well, you don't have a dick." And if I recall correctly, this is the character that was in the support group meeting with Huey when Huey's girlfriend first got killed, and he went to support group for people who have been harmed by superheroes. And he was a guy who lost his penis to I think it was a superhero that like turned into ice or something. So it says MM is just as OCD in the comics. He's not a huge character in the book, but he had some fun stuff. Oh, that's the image I'm not supposed to show y'all. Y'all have to pause the video to see that one. I'm glad I scrolled by it pretty quickly. Yes, he got broken off by the ice-powered woman. Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, that's a nice promotional thing in the theater. This is a theater standee cutout version of the Dawn of the Seven art. First time I've ever had a poster made into one. Wow. I love how we're getting like movie quality TV shows. Between this and Stranger Things, it's movie quality. Even the Chucky series, movie quality to me. I know the Ken and Barbie thing is all the rage, but come on, we did it better. There was a scene, I didn't talk about it, but it was also in the first episode where the termite guy was at a party and he was in a dollhouse messing around with a Barbie doll for people's enjoyment. Just I guess who's the life of the party doing that? And that's the guy that the actor that's playing Soldier Boy. Every time I say Soldier Boy, you know who I'm thinking of, right? I'm thinking of Soldier Boy. Tell him why my head just keeps thinking that. So a lot of people are excited about that. Let's see what else is going on. Butcher and Huey look to be in a similar setting. No, people are. Did I talk about Kimiko at all? I don't think I did. But I love her, and I like her skill set, and I like this sequence where she is dressed in a sequin dress. It's like a sequin miniskirt, and when she's getting out of the car, they play Belle Biv DeVoe's "Poison." It was a really cool scene, and it was a good action sequence for her too, and a bit more character development because we get to see the type of things that she's very interested in, and how she felt bad for her mission was she had to go in and assassinate this dude who's like, I don't know, some type of mafioso boss type character. And he had all these girls in there that looked like they'd been human trafficked. And she felt bad for the girls while at the same time recognizing her own issue with being bought and sold, because Butcher basically sold her as an assassin to somebody else. So she felt a kinship to those girls. I thought that was very interesting too. Tony says, I loved how she doesn't want to be perceived as a monster. Yeah. Nobody wants to be perceived as a monster. And again, to bring up acting, she has to do so much without being able to speak. So this, again, I feel like if these actors were doing drama or mystery or any other genre, they would be heavily awarded with Emmys. But because this is more action horror focus, they might not get the type of accolades they deserve because they're doing a damn good job. I don't remember. It says this scene between A Train and a cancer patient has me in tears. Why do I not remember this? Is this from a previous season? Because I just rewatched, or was it from episode 1? Because I watched episode 1 2 weeks ago, and then I watched 2, 3, and 4 today. Let me see if I can play it without getting dinged.
You know what? Maybe I can't turn invisible, but I am the world's fastest man. Like, I can outrun anybody or anything. That's something, right? Like, I tell you what, you get better and I'll teach you to run as fast as me.
Yeah?
Yeah?
You'll teach me to outrun cancer?
That shouldn't be funny. That should not be funny, but it was funny.
You know what?
That should not be funny, but it was. It was in season 1, episode 1. Okay, thank you, Bob. Because I was like, I know my memory is bad, but is it that bad that I would forget this scene from this season? Okay, so it's from the first season. I don't feel so bad about my memory. I mean, I still have a bad memory, but at least it's not as bad as I thought it was. Like if that was a scene from this season and I already forgot it, then I know I'm in trouble. Oh, I forgot to talk about the hamster. There was also a V-powered hamster. It was a pretty cool scene. Okay, this tweeter says, if they don't go to Marseille, I will be suing for emotional damage. Yeah, they're having a little bit of a love story, and they're hoping to go to Versailles, so hopefully that happens. It says, I've got a feeling that Homelander is going to rip A-Train's heart out by the end of the season. This is such a fucked prediction. Can't speak today. This is such a fucked prediction. I know, but I can see it just happening. And you also have Homelander as your default picture. Yeah. Okay, Jensen Ackles says, Fangasm is quoting Jensen Ackles, saying, getting in and out of that suit was a task. Also, at first, he wanted to take the shield when done, but by the time filming ended, he was like, nope, keep it. And I'm guessing Jensen Ackles is the person that plays Soldier Boy. I think that's his real name. Oh, that's cute. Look at Kimiko's face. They're so cute. Okay, this person says, Stan Edgar may be an evil, corrupt corporate executive, but I'd be lying if I said I didn't love watching him consistently put Homelander in his place, despite not having any powers that we know of. I agree. But this actor is that dude. If anybody saw Breaking Bad, then you know that Giancarlo Esposito is that dude. Of course, he was also in Do the Right Thing, and he was in School Days. He's had a long career. Probably there's others that I'm forgetting about, but he's that dude. He says, you are not worthy of my respect. You are not a god. You are simply bad product. This was a good scene. Look at that. His face trying not to crack. This tweet right here. Sandy says, fuck Homelander, fuck the Deep, fuck A-Train. That is a good. Yep, that was him. The Giancarlo, don't step on his new Jordans. That was him and Do the Right Thing with the little, he had the mini dreads on the top of his head, I think, in that, if I remember correctly. He played one of the people in Maximum Overdrive. Did he? It's been so long since I've seen a movie. It's been like 20 years since I've seen Maximum Overdrive. I just remember Yardley Smith, who ended up playing she's the voice of Lisa Simpson, her leaning out the door saying, "Are you dead?" That's like the part I remember the most about that movie. That, and when Stephen King was at the ATM and he said, "This machine just called me an asshole." That's like what I remember the most about Maximum Overdrive. His name was Bugging Out. Yes. So here's the scene I was describing to you about that A-Train commercial. Cash says they did the Kendall Jenner Pepsi commercial with A-Train. Laugh my fucking ass off. He was the guy that got electrocuted. It's a terrible role for him. Oh. Double Toasted pointed it out in their watch of Maximum Overdrive. Oh, see, I have to watch that. I like when they do their, was it a bad movie roast? Because I like when they do their bad movie roasts. And I love when Corey holds up that little ass dog. He always has that little dog. I think one of his dog's name is Pixie. And what was the other dog's name? I can't remember the other dog's name, but I think it's Pixie that's always on his lap. Kimiko killing a bunch of dudes with nothing but dildos. Poetic television. A-Train really just set us back 50 years. Fuck that coon. But here's the thing about that, like this, for the people that have watched this season or watched it up to episode 4, the part that I have not discussed because it's a spoiler and I didn't want to completely spoil it. Something happens that Homelander says he was told by A-Train. But the thing is, because Homelander is such an asshole, do you think he's telling the truth that A-Train told him that? Or did he hear it with his supersonic hearing and he's just blaming it on A-Train? That's the thing that I'm wondering about. Although A-Train would be the perfect person to blame it on because he is a coon. I'm not saying he's not a coon. I'm just saying, can you trust Homelander's take on what happened? That's what I'm saying. Astrid says, oh, hey, Astrid. Astrid says, yep, it was during their bad movie roast. And Bob says, yes, it was a bad movie roast. And Bob says, I like Billy's laughing too. Billy, he has the ability to make anything funny and think anything is funny. He's a great addition to Double Toasted. Boy, spoilers. Yeah, they do look happy there. What else is going on here? It's you and me. Mm-hmm. This scene was so intense. You can feel the horror, sadness, and hatred on MM's face when Soldier Boy stepped out. and his gaze was heartbreaking. Yeah, in this particular sequence, because Mother's Milk, I wanted to say was his father or his grandfather was killed in some way by Soldier Boy. The look on his face is almost like he's re-traumatized and he's transported back to being the age that he was when that happened. Like, this is really good acting as well. The look on his face, it's almost like the child inside of him looking out instead of the adult man that he is. So I thought that was great. Like I said, I can't impress upon you enough that if these actors were acting in a drama, they would have so many Emmy Awards. But because they're acting in an action horror, they might not get recognized for their skill. And that irritates me. This dude, too, is doing an amazing acting job. One of the best acted villains of all time. Exactly. The Incredible. Oops, didn't mean to do that. A-Train when Starlight confronts him, LOL. Snitch, you bet I told. Let me like that. I should be liking these as I'm scrolling. Homelander's death is going to be the most satisfying television scene that I will ever see. Muhammad says, man, fuck A-Train. I thought I would start to like that nigga, but no, let me beat that no powers ass nigga. Yeah. This is where Amazon gets fucked up every time. Better to release all episodes at once. I don't know whether I agree with that because I feel like, I don't know, I go back and forth on it. What do you guys think? Do you think that it's better to release all the episodes at one time so that everyone can binge them? Or do you think it's better to release them weekly or release a couple at a time? I go back and forth. The Boys was approved for another season after 3 episodes. Well, it should. I'm sure the ratings were through the roof. Homelander did a show called Banshee, the greatest TV show ever. Tony Man says, I like weekly. Astrid says, I like a couple at a time. Yeah, I like 2 at a time. I think that would be a happy medium because that's one of the things that kind of irritates me about Disney Plus. You get so into an episode and it's only just the first episode and you have to wait a whole week. They should do 2 episodes at a time. Astrid says 3 episodes at a time I feel is a good number. And Bob says go back and forth too. Yeah, because what was I watching weekly? I watched Chucky weekly when it first came out, but that was because it wasn't on a streaming service initially. It was on they were actually playing it on 2 channels at the same time. They played it on USA and the Sci-Fi channel at the same time. So I watched that weekly. Like I said yesterday, Stranger Things, I did not intend to binge watch Stranger Things, but I couldn't turn it off. I started watching it on a Friday night at 7 p.m. and the next thing I know, the sun was coming up. But I think had maybe it should have split it in thirds, episodes 1 through 4, because episode 4 is so good that I think it would have been nice to wait a week and then, or 2 weeks, and then episode 4 through 7 debut, and then the next set. Bob says 3 and then 2 line our flag means death, or the last season of It's Always Sunny. Astrid says, I think within 3 episodes you figure out if you want to keep watching. Yes, I think so too. I think a lot of times it takes 3 episodes for you to get fully invested too. Okay, it says The Boys episode 4, spoilers. People, we can't wait for Supersonic. He's actually a good guy. Oh, his name is Supersonic. People, episode 4. I think I've been calling him Jetstreak. So was he? Oh, he's Supersonic, not Jetstreak. Oh, I'm so messed up. Or maybe they got it wrong. I don't know. Do you guys know if the new dude's name is Supersonic or Jetstreak? I don't know which one his name is. I know he was in a boy band, and that's what I know. But I'm gonna wrap it up because I've run out of things to say about the boys, and I gotta prepare for tomorrow. Tony Man says JJ Fad. Are we just naming rap groups from? Oh, let me play this. Let me play this ad before we go, so y'all can see this ad. This was so corny.
Where are those people going?
There's a protest on the street.
Hey Train, where are you going? Almost ready to shoot.
This is important.
We gotta listen to each other. A-Train's Turbo Rush energy drink.
That was so terrible. The way the cops were dancing. That was absolutely terrible. And there's signs. The girl says, "Oh, there's a protest." But what are you protesting? The signs just say peace and love. Asher says, "Definitely has Pepsi vibes." Yeah. Lorden says, "This piece of shit." Mm-hmm. But he's supposed to be, he said he wanted to show that he was down for the people. Or no, not the people. I think he said the culture. That's what he said. The term he used was the culture. Oh man, I want to play this scene, but man, I might tempt fate. I might get kicked off the stream. Okay, let's try it.
I heard about your temporary leave of absence, by the way. Those things do have a nasty habit of becoming permanent, though, don't they? Don't blame Vicky.
I
either.
don't. If there's one thing I taught her, it was to play all sides. She's more like me than I ever imagined. But I am curious. What did you give her?
A little respect, Stan. Something you should have given me.
What good would that do? Where would it even go? But to the bottomless, gaping pit of insecurity you call a soul.
Oh, God. You want to know something? I used to be intimidated by you. I did. And now I look at you, I have no idea why. Truly, you're not even pathetic. You're just nothing.
Then why are you still here? Looking for my approval like I'm your daddy?
He does a little bit.
What would there be to approve of? The company is yours. No one left to stand up to you. But I think you'll come to sorely regret that.
And why is that?
Because there's no one left to cover for you either. Eventually, probably soon, the world will recognize you for the pitiful disappointment you are. You are not worthy of my
I agree.
respect.
I think he is. I think he
Oh my
is.
God, you are simply bad product.
See, look at this range. They illustrate his acting range just from his facial expressions. This. It's a lot of range. The thing that I do fear for this actor is I hope that he doesn't get typecast, where people can't see him as anything other than Homelander. That would kind of suck. Says, I can't lash out like some raging entitled maniac. That's a white man's luxury. I have to agree. I mean, as a black woman, there are things that I couldn't do. For example, I've noticed like when I used to work in corporate offices, it's been more than one time a European American woman has thrown a complete hissy fit, started crying, ran in the bathroom, and basically had a temper tantrum. But if I did that, they'd probably call security. You know, it is what it is. Asher says that line just hurt him. Such a smug smirk. Read like a kindergarten book. A-Train 1 minute after Supersonic told him about the plan to deal with Homelander. Yeah, basically, if what Homelander is saying is true, manifesting circle for Kamiko. Please be alive, please be alive, please be alive. I'll scroll past that spoiler. Yeah, that was the announcement that season 4 has been greenlit. Alicia says, I don't think I can properly illustrate what this one single frame did for me as a person and a hormonally fragile woman. I thought I might need an exorcism. Yeah, there's a lot of people thirsting after Soldier Boy because they were Supernatural fans. But the thing is, this is not the same character. It's the same actor, but not the same character. But I guess you could have whatever fantasy you want. I forgot to answer Tony Man's question that about what we're going to discuss tomorrow. I'm a day behind because I decided to do The Boys today instead of usually on Wednesdays I would do From and Atlanta, and on Thursdays I would usually do Hellbound and Ju-On. What are y'all more interested in? And should I do From, because I don't feel up to doing a second live stream today. I'll let you know that right now. So should I do From in Atlanta tomorrow, or should I do Hellbound and Ju-On? Excuse me. Here's my twist. Nothing happened to SS. It's mind games. Oh, so you think they might have put somebody else in his suit? Because you couldn't see his face. If SS is who I'm thinking, yeah, Supersonic. Yeah, you couldn't see his face. So that could be somebody else. Who knows? Because Homelander's a lying liar who lies. So we don't know if he's telling the truth or not. This says The Boys, spoilers without context. I like when people do these. That's the I keep wanting to call her Kylie. That's Kendall. That, although I think that's a hamster. Was it a hamster or was it a gerbil? It was a V-powered pet rodent thing. And of course, that's alluding to Soldier Boy being like Captain America. Look at this body, though. Do you know how much he had to go through to get this kind of body for this role? That's ridiculous. Like, he literally looks like an action figure. But what's this supposed to be like? Who is this character? I don't get... Because, I mean, I know who this character is from X-Men, but I'm trying to figure out how it relates to... Well, there was a little boy in the little orphanage that Huey visited that was able to... what's the word? I don't know why I'm drawing a blank. When you can move from one place to another place without... oh, God. I'm really having a mental freeze. Starts with the word trans. I don't know why I can't think of it. It's like traveling through space and time. Okay. Teleport. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for. Not transport. Teleport. Thank you. So I don't know why they put that character there. HB and Juan. Oh, HB and Juwan. Why did I read that as Juan? Oh my God. I need to pack it up for tonight. Okay, so Hellbound and Juan. We got 2 votes for Hellbound. Juan. Why do I stop saying Juan? Juwan. Juwan. Hellbound and Juwan. Okay, those eyes are Vicky's. Oh. Teleports. Brundle flies. Yeah, well, yeah, teleport, Brundle fly. I see that. I feel like Captain America now. I get that reference. All right, let me pack it up for tonight because I'm starting to ramble and lose. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Someone says, I'm starting to wish Huey and Starlight left A-Train to die in the season 1 finale. When they put the Koofy on any cartoon character. It's funny. USA in movies, USA in real life. Wow. He killed 3 men with a pencil. She killed 3 men with a dildo. Yeah, she did. I'm gonna have to age restrict this video. Yeah, I think I'm gonna put a 18 and up on this video, just because of the subject matter and how many times I keep saying the word dildo. Third one for Hellbound and Juwan. Okay, so tomorrow night live stream will be Hellbound and Juwan, but I will say the live stream will probably be an hour later. I'll probably end up starting at 8 o'clock because I'm going to be on Hood Podcast at 7 o'clock. And on Hood Podcast, we're probably going to be talking about Obi-Wan and Ms. Marvel. So look for that tomorrow night. Make sure you're subscribed to Hood Podcast, and you'll see us talking about Obi-Wan and Ms. Marvel. The Boys season 3. In season 4, Huey be like One Punch Man. I've seen a couple episodes of One Punch Man, but I didn't finish the series. Quick sketch for tonight. Oh, another person that's loving on Soldier Boy. The way they drew him with this come hither stare. Good stream. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, let me stop sharing because I will be on Twitter forever. Because I don't know. I'm a Twitter head. I like Twitter a lot. It's fun there. Especially on Friday nights. We have a good time when we're live tweeting Joe Bob's Drive-In movies. It's like watching a movie with a whole bunch of people at the same time. It's a lot of fun. But that's all I have to say today. So I'm going to get out of here. Thank you all again for coming through. Oh, I almost forgot to remind you that I will be on Ocean Chicks Films stream on Saturday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's going to be a ladies' night where we're going to talk about just all types of movies. Basically, the newest movies out and probably our most anticipated horror movies. Aster says, you deserve more views. I hope people find you. Thank you. Oh, the way you guys can help me with that is like this video and share it somewhere on your timeline. Like whether it doesn't matter the platform. It could be Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, wherever. If you could share this, I would really appreciate it. Thank you so much. With that, I'm going to say good night.
Hey, 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 hey.